In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to answer the interview question, walk me through your resume. Now, this isn't a question most people get really wrong, but it's also a question I can tell you after about 15 years in the industry, most people don't maximize this opportunity. It's a great opportunity to start your interview off on a great foot, and I'm going to teach you how to do that right now. Let's go. Now in this video, I'm going to teach you step by step everything you need to do to answer this question in the best possible way, but make sure you stick around to the end because I'm also going to give you 3 mistakes people make when they answer this question that can derail everything positive they share up to that point. Now I wanted to make this video because this is what I call a CIQ, and that's a critical interview question. It is an absolutely critical question because it's going to get asked in just about every interview you do. It'll be at the very beginning, and if you get it wrong, if you don't maximize this opportunity, odds are you'll be at a disadvantage when it comes to moving forward in the process and ultimately getting an offer. Now, first things first, you want to move from the most early part of your career to the most recent, right? So you want to move in reverse chronological order. Start with the entry-level job, which you started off, and move through until you're where you're at currently and the most recent stop in your career. Now, one of the things that's really important here is you're not allocating equal time to every single stop. You want to spend the majority of the time talking about the most relevant jobs that you've held, right? So if you were to make a pie chart, let's just say your career is 10 years long. You want to spend about 20% of the time talking about the first 50% or the first 5 years of your career, and you want to spend about 80% of the time talking about the most recent 5 years. Because these 5 years, the most recent ones, are going to be more applicable to the job you are interviewing for in all likelihood. Now, most people don't do this next step, but it's critical. You want to use this as an opportunity to inject some passion and enthusiasm into this answer regarding the industry or the job you hold, right? So for example, you can say, and then at this point in my career, I moved into this role. And in this role, I really found my passion for the industry. I found what I really loved about it was doing A, B, and C, and I was able to do a lot of it at this stop, right? And what you're doing there is you're walking them through your resume, but you're also using it as an opportunity in the middle to showcase your enthusiasm and interest and passion for your career. That's really important. People buy passion. So if there's an opportunity throughout the entirety of the interview, every now and then, to share with them that you're really excited about this, or this is what excites me about my career, or I was really passionate about doing this, or I really love this part of my job where I got to do blank, you should take that opportunity. Now, when you get the most recent job that you're in, one of the things that's a little bit of a cheat code to answering this question is use it as an opportunity to quantify your impact. Now, quantifying your impact basically means you're going to talk about something you did at your role, but you're going to share with them the tangible business impact that occurred because of what you did. So, for example, if you were a salesperson, you could say, you know, in my first 12 months in the job, I brought in an additional 50 clients, which increased the revenue of that region by 35% by blank, right? So what you're basically doing is you're sharing with them, I did this over this amount of time, which end resulted in this much revenue or this much increased profitability or this decrease in downtime or blank, right? Whatever is applicable to your industry, whatever terms make sense, you want to show them the tangible financial impact that you were able to make in your career. So as you're walking through, as you get to the most recent job, if you can say, you know, in my most recent stop, I do this, and I spend most of my time doing A, B, and C. And one of the things that I'm really proud of is over the last 12 months, I've been able to blank, doing blank, which has ended in a result increase in revenue for my company of $300,000, whatever, right? But this is a great opportunity to figure out how you have made an impact and quantify it and share it as you close out this interview question answer. Now, at the very end, you want to use it as an opportunity to share with them why this next job, it's a great step in your career and it makes sense, right? So you're telling a story. You're telling the story of your career, and you want to share with them why this next job, why it's the appropriate next chapter. So you're saying, so, and that's what I do now, and I've been there for about 3 years. And I'm really interested in this role because when I look at the last 5 years of my career, I spent a lot of time doing A, B, and C, which sets me up really well to take on a job like this. You know, I was reading through the job description, I saw that you need to do A, B, and C, and I feel like I'm well positioned to succeed in that, etc., right? You have to make it make sense for how your history sets you up for your future, but it's a great opportunity to close and be like, and this is why I feel like I'm a great fit for this job. Based on everything I've done, it has set me up to be successful in this job. Now, if you're still here, Good job for sticking around, because now we're going to go to the mistakes, because even though this question, again, isn't one of those super tricky questions, it is a question where people do make mistakes. They certainly don't maximize the benefit all the time, but they also make mistakes. And here are the most common mistakes. The first mistake is people take forever. Look, I don't care how long your career is, you can't spend 7 minutes answering this interview question. I've been a recruiter for almost 15 years, and I can tell you, if you do that, they are going to be irritated. I'm also a hiring manager. I've been a hiring manager for the last 7 years. And if you go on forever, if you can't be concise, it's going to give them pause about your communication ability and your decision-making ability, right? You're in an interview. Don't take 7 minutes answering this interview question. So make sure you don't take too long answering this, and make sure you're concise. That's really important. The next mistake people make is they ramble on and they kind of get lost. Now, this is different from taking a long time. If you're taking a long time, but you're telling like a complete story, that's one thing. You still shouldn't do it. You need to be concise. But if you ramble on and you get lost, and you're all of a sudden you're talking about different things, you're like, oh, where was I? That's not good. And that's an interview mistake. It can't be like Michael Scott in The Office, where you're like, well, sometimes I start a sentence and I don't even know where I'm going to finish. No. You need to know what the plan is here. So make sure you don't ramble on and get lost. Stay on topic. Lastly, don't be negative about any of your stops. Sometimes people do this when they answer this question. They go through and they're telling you about their background, their history, their experience. Like, oh, I was here for about 10 years. That wasn't a really good job, really toxic environment. Was really glad to get out of there. Don't do that. If you do that, they're going to assume that you were part of the problem. Negativity almost never serves you in the interview process. I have never had a hiring manager say to me, Ben, this candidate was really negative and I loved it. I've never had that. But I have had hiring managers say to me, Ben, this candidate was really negative. I'm not sure how I feel about adding them to my team. This is a critical interview question. But if you want to check out one of the other critical interview questions, I made a video on this one right here. This is all about the interview question, why do you want to leave your current job? It's a really challenging question to answer if you don't have a good plan for it. I lay out the exact plan and everything you need to do here. So I'm done here, but I will see you over there.